Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Ladies and gentlemen, every family in the United States needs to get a generator. Don't wait until it's too late. I believe that this should be a priority prep for everyone. I know some people are going to say, hey, I live in an apartment. Well, get in with your neighbors. Maybe you can put a generator like on a balcony. And I'm talking about like for severe emergencies where you're like, I don't care what the authorities say. If I don't have this, if I don't use this now, there is going to be something that happens that is really bad. Somebody may die or just something really bad may happen. We can go into all the scenarios, but the fact of the matter is this: we've been given enough warnings that we should all have a generator, even if it's a small one. So let me tell you what I would do if I lived in an apartment. I would have one of the small, like 1600 watt generators, you know, like the little Hondas or the little Furmans or Yamahas, whichever ones. They're like $300, $400 last time I checked. If I lived in an apartment and I had a small balcony outside of my apartment, I would probably go in with maybe another neighbor next to me or a neighbor above me or below me. That way we can share one generator. And I would, of course, have some stored gasoline, at least a 5-gallon container, right? So check it out. One of those small 1600 watt or so generators, at least the one that I have, the Furman and the Yamaha that I have, on 1 gallon of gasoline, they'll run for about 7 to 10 hours, depending on what brand you have. That means that one 5-gallon jug of gasoline will run that generator for you for about 40 to 50 hours, roughly. That can be a lifesaver. Not only have we been warned by our government, and I'm going to share a short article with you here. I'm not going to read it all, but just to give you a gist of what it says. This was published about a year ago. Ladies and gentlemen, they tell us what's coming up. And here it says, blackout warfare. Document warns of devastating cyber attack by China or Russia. It doesn't matter who the attack is from. What matters are the results of that attack. Not only that, we also have a severe weather warning that's going on here for the following week, I think it is, for Texas. And as you can see right here, it says Texas electricity demand to soar as state bakes in heat wave next week. Don't wait until you need it to try to go out there and get it and there be none available. You should also have, if you live in one of these states where it gets really, really hot, you should have yourself a little backup air conditioner. So let's say, for example, that you live in an apartment or a house that has central air. That is great that you have that. But those things only work really well when power is provided to them. So if your central air is part of your house infrastructure, then what are you going to do when the power that is coming to your house is shut off? Well, you can take care of that right now by getting a small generator and, if you can, a small air conditioner. If you can get a generator that will power your entire house, that's even better. But I'm talking about people here that maybe cannot afford to get a huge generator, you know, a 9,000 watt generator or a generator that connects to their homes. Get a small generator with a small 1100 watt air conditioner. And at the very minimum, you can go ahead and take that small air conditioner, put it in your window in a room in your home, and that can be your cold room, where you go to cool off in case that the house is so hot that you can't stand it anymore. Same thing for the winter time. I know that right now we're talking about heat, but the winter time is the same thing. If your central heating is connected to your house's infrastructure or is part of your house infrastructure, and the things that you need to heat your home are connected to your house infrastructure, like for example, if you get natural gas or if you get electricity to heat your home, if you lose that during the winter for whatever reason, do you have a backup? Do you have a small generator that would allow you to even run a 1500 watt heater that you can put in one room of your home so that you can have a hot room as opposed to a cold room during the summer? Having this can literally save your life, ladies and gentlemen. During the Texas freeze, a lot of people passed away. If you remember the Texas freeze, I believe it was last year, 2021, around February or so. A lot of people passed away because they had no heating. I understand that a lot of those people that passed away were like homeless people who did not have any shelter, but a lot of them also passed away in their homes because they had no heating. Don't let that be you. Don't let it be you for heating or for cooling. It's not a huge investment to go out there and get a small generator and put away at a minimum a 5-gallon can of gasoline. All right. I'm not going to get into whatever code there is where you live, if you can do it or not, but find a way, ladies and gentlemen. You can find a way to do this because your life can depend on this. I don't want to hear next week that these heat waves that are going on in Texas overwhelmed the electrical system and there were blackouts and then people passed away from heat stroke or whatever. I don't want to hear that because it's something that you can avoid by getting prepared now. But if you wait till the last minute, if you wait until the electricity is gone out and you are having blackouts or brownouts and you don't have enough power to power your home air conditioning, then you're going to go out there to try to buy an air conditioner or to try to buy a generator, and they're just not going to be available. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about the end of the world. We're talking about a short-term crisis, but these short-term crises can have dire consequences. So I implore you to go ahead and take a look at this, do a little bit of your own research, and go out there if you can and get something that will power a small air conditioner, and for the wintertime, a small heater. It can save your lives. Here it says, following an early season heat wave searing parts of Texas in May, scorching hot weather returns with a vengeance early next week, resulting in power demands forecasts that are at levels not seen in a few years as households and businesses are expected to crank up their air conditioner. We know that it's coming, so prepare now. Going back to this here article, blackout warfare. Document warns of devastating cyber attacks by China and Russia. EMP Task Force and National and Homeland Security releases document just days before WEF's Cyber Polygon Cyber War game. Now we can go ahead and put on our tinfoil hats, which I don't think it's a tinfoil hat anymore, because every time that some of these elite warn us about something that may happen, it ends up happening. Imagine that, ladies and gentlemen. But here it says that an official Congressional Advisory Board has released a document outlining numerous cyber threats posed to the United States and its potential responses to attacks against the electric grid. Ladies and gentlemen, our electrical grid is already ancient. It already fails in many parts and is very fragile. Now, if someone attacks it, how much do you think they have to expense? How much energy do you think someone would have to expense to take down a portion at least of our energy grid, and God forbid the portion where you live? Are you going to be prepared for that? Experts say cyber attacks are likely to result in blackouts in the United States. How much warning do you need to go out there and prep up for this specific items? Yes, I know we need food, we need water, we need all of those things, but we live in a time and age where we are accustomed to having air conditioner in the summer. I don't personally need it because here in the summer, like right now, I think it's, well, what time is it? 7:15 in the morning. But right now outside, I think it's probably about 60 degrees, maybe 58 degrees or so. And it got really, really hot yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. It hit almost 80 degrees out in town. All right, it hit almost 80 degrees. I think it was like 76 degrees here where I live. That's really hot for us over here, ladies and gentlemen. But we really don't need air conditioning here to survive. All right. Now, for example, let's say you don't have air conditioning and you can't afford to go out there and buy a small generator or to go out there and buy an air conditioner. Get on YouTube and look up how to make up your own swamp cooler. You can make something that is called a swamp cooler that you could probably make it for about $20. All you need is a small water pump like the pumps that you use for fish tanks, and then you need a tote, a plastic tote, with even some cardboard, corrugated cardboard you can actually use to do this. And it takes almost no energy whatsoever to run, and a fan. You need a fan also. And you can actually build a swamp cooler where in an emergency it can literally save your life, ladies and gentlemen, by keeping you cool enough so that you don't get any kind of heat stroke or anything like that. I've seen them use that in Afghanistan when I was in Afghanistan. At first I was like, what is that? And the guy actually explained to me, I was like, that is pretty awesome. I didn't even know they existed, till then or at that time. And I know that you can buy them now. You can actually buy them pre-made, but you can literally make your own if you cannot afford to go out there and buy one. Don't become a casualty, ladies and gentlemen. Don't become a statistics. We are being told right now what's going to happen. Prep up for this now. If you can afford it, go get yourself a small generator. I have a whole bunch of different types of generators in my Amazon storefront, and they're all brands that I recommend. And the generators that I have on there. I have a small Furman generator. I have a small Yamaha generator. I have a large Furman generator for my household that actually powers my whole house and then some. But get something that you can afford. Get the best that you can afford and prep up for this. Because if you don't need it this year, you may need it this coming winter. And thank goodness if you don't need it at all. But eventually you will need it, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Eventually you will need it. The laws of averages is usually not on our side. Having said that, I think I've beaten that horse to death right there. I just wanted to put this out there because people usually like to wait till the last minute to do things. Don't wait till the last minute. If you don't want to be prepared, at least go get yourself a generator. If you don't want to have extra food and water in your home and things that you need for an extended period of time, at least have a small generator with a 5-gallon can of gasoline. All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, do your own research. I hope that you take heed to the warning because it's coming. Eventually, it is coming to a city near you. Have a great day. Remember to be good to each other. When good people do good things happen. Remember to reach one, teach one, and repeat. If we all did this, the world would be a better place, and you know that it will be a better place. Many blessings to all of you and your families. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out. Ladies and gentlemen, Nutrient Survival has launched an Alaska Prepper Payday Prep Bucket, and it will be available for the month of June. However, starting from June 3rd, this Friday, through June 5th, this Sunday, the code AP15 will be available for 15% off the Payday Prep Bucket or anything in the Nutrient Survival store. So if you are in the market for freeze-dried foods, take advantage of this code before Monday, the 6th of June, to save 15% off your total order. When you visit the page, make sure to take a look at the nutrition tool that an independent laboratory has developed, and you will see that this bucket is 17 times more nutrient dense than the top 3 leading brands of long-term freeze-dried foods. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't only partner with Nutrient Survival because they have great people, but because Nutrient Survival is the most nutrient-dense, long-term survival freeze-dried food in the market, and it tastes great. So feed your freedom with Nutrient Survival.